So hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be explaining to you 11 mistakes real estate investors make and how to avoid them. I bet if you're a real estate investor, one of the things on your mind is when you're thinking about your real estate investment is how to make maximum returns on them. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you 11 mistakes that you can make that will definitely have effects on the kind of returns you make on your investment and how to avoid them. Okay, so welcome to my YouTube channel. Again, if you are yet to like and subscribe, please do so now so you don't miss out on any of the educative content that I share, or even when I start sharing my lifestyle videos. I bet you will love that. Okay, so when I start that, you don't miss out on that as well. But yeah, this channel is about real estate, lifestyle, and investment. Okay, so thanks again for watching. And my name is Abiola Fadahunsi. For those who don't know me, I'm a real estate consultant and broker. And as a consultant, I help. One of the things I do as a consultant is to educate you on real estate do and don'ts, so you don't get your fingers burnt. And as a broker, I help real estate investors locate genuine properties at the right place, price, and terms so they can make maximum returns on their investment within the shortest time possible. So you see, this topic I love very well, and it's a topic of a blog on my website. But I'll be explaining more in this video. So if you've not read the blog on my website, it's good you're watching this video. And even if you've read the blog, I'll do a little bit more of explanation in this video. Okay, so right to the topic: 11 expensive mistakes real estate investors make and how to avoid them. And number one, no clear goals or strategic plan. I've seen this happen a lot with investors, right? And actually during my strategy session with clients or with prospective clients, I tend to, one of the motivating reasons why they want to invest in real estate, or one of the reasons why they want to put up a huge sum of money in real estate, is because they've seen people around them do it and they've been successful at it. Like they've seen their friends go into real estate development, they've seen their friends purchase large expanse of land, and like their friends are cashing out big time, and they feel, okay, I think I just want to do the same thing my friend did. And while most of them, some of the friends might have just been lucky, or some of them have strategic plans, these people come in, these new investors or those that have planned to invest, come in with the mindset of, I just want to do exactly what my friend did. And without, checking out the model, seeing, comparing to see if what worked at that time for the friend is actually what will work for them now. So I see a lot of investors make this mistake. They come into the real estate space without having any strategic plan. They are not they don't know exactly what to do. They think all they need to do is just buy properties. Okay, I bet real estate is good. Real estate can make me wealthy. Investing in real estate is the good thing to do, and they don't plan it. They don't have strategic plan. They don't know when to get into the market. They don't know when to exit the market. They don't know when to buy, the good time to buy. Of course, there's no best time to buy, right? The good time to buy, the best time to buy is probably years ago, like we usually say, okay? But of course, it doesn't mean if you're starting now, you're starting late. It's still a good time to buy, right? But they don't have a strategic plan on what to do part time. Okay, they've not thought about it, whether they just want to go into land banking basically, or they want to go into rental income, that's buying apartments, buildings, putting it up for rent, or buying land, building, or whether they even want to do flipping. They just feel, okay, let me do exactly what I've seen someone, what I saw my friend or someone I know do, and they really made money from it. So there's no strategic plan, and what that leads to is that they're tempted to buy every property they see that they think is just a good buy. So one thing when you want to invest in real estate is you really need to have a strategic plan. You must plan strategically. Not every property is for you, because at the end of the day, you might end up buying properties that won't even bring you so much return. So you need to have a plan. And it doesn't mean that if you're flipping, you can't also go into land banking for capital appreciation, or you can't go into rental income or every other type of, or develop real estate and sell out, right? It doesn't mean that, but you need to have strategic plan per time. You need to know what you're doing. When you're putting in your money, the strategy for how you make back your money and all of that. So some people just put in money and they just expect magic to happen, okay, overnight, and it doesn't really work that way when you're a real estate investor, because trust me, when you're buying for investment, it's different from when you're buying for personal living. They are two different things. There are two different questions to be answered. There are two different, a lot of things to be considered, which are different in their own right, so to speak. So I have here on my blog, I say stop making it up as you go. Real estate investment is a real business and it should be treated as such. Yes, it is a real business. When you decide that, okay, I really want to go into investing, especially when you're looking at it on a large scale. Yes, and not every property is for you. It takes planning to know what to buy and what not to buy. So true. Careful planning to know what to buy, because at the end of the day, that's where you hear people say, but I thought this real estate thing, I heard I would make a lot of money, but this thing is slow. It's not right, because you didn't plan. And you didn't consider yourself as a person, the kind of, so don't let me delve too much into that. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, that's it. Not um when you're investing, there have to be clearly stated key metrics with which you will judge any property before making a buying decision. Yes, before you buy, there have to be things you look out for. There have to be boxes you tick to be sure that yes, this actually fits my investment goal for now or per time as you go along. So there are key performance indices you have to look at and to see, and your business will receive life and direction. Exactly. You might think this is a lot. Is it not real estate? Is it not just for me to put money in land or a building or something, or just go into JVs? No, it's way more than that. Okay, so that is the first mistake real estate investors make. They don't have strategic plan, and they don't have strategic plan for what they're doing part time. They just go into it like go in, go out, and all of that. And that is so wrong. This would have effects on the kind of returns you would make on your investment. So number two is buying with emotions and not logic, right? So before I continue on number two, let me quickly mention that for months now, I have given out 5 free slots for strategy sessions. That's the strategy sessions are for real estate investors, where I share with them in 30 minutes on a phone conversation. I share with them the exact blueprint I have used with hundreds of investors that have worked with me previously and that have helped them in their real estate investment journey. So every month, and I still currently do that, I give out 5 free slots for a 30-minute session where we get on a call and I share with you this blueprint. Of course, I get to understand what your investment goals are, and I share with you a blueprint that would work for you. So in this video, in the link, check the description. I'll put the link out to that. So if you're looking to be part of the first 5 in the month, the link will pull through for you, so you can book a free strategy session with me, where yes, we can get to discuss things and I'll share with you a blueprint that would work well for you. Okay, and that's absolutely free, and you're not under any pressure, or you're not obliged to work with me after. In fact, I don't work with everyone. Okay, so you're not under any pressure. It's absolutely free. It's a way I give back as well. It's part of the things I give back, apart from the free books I write on real estate or the free guides I put out, or free videos like this as well. Okay, so that's one of the ways I give out. So you're not under any pressure whatsoever to work with me after. So you can check out for that. I felt it's important I mentioned that. Okay. So number two is buying with emotions and not logic. And okay, I would say that if you're someone that your emotions get in the way every time you really need to make a very vital decision, you may not be in fact, you will not be a very successful real estate investor, because real estate investing has everything to do with logic and not emotion. It's understandable if you deal with emotions when you buy other things, like when you want to buy your dresses, you want to buy your outfits, you want to buy other things like that are personal to you. Okay, but when it comes to real estate investment, it has everything to do with logic. Yes, you can put in emotions when you want to buy a property you want to live in personally. That's fine. Maybe the particular things you want or that you're attached to, that you would love to see in that same space where you want to start living in. But when it comes to real estate investment, trust me, it is not about you. It is about the numbers. It's not about your emotions, okay? It's about logic. It's about running the numbers. So I've seen people go into real estate investment, or they tell me they want to go into real estate investment. And some things are suggested, and they tell you, no, I don't like that area because there's, in fact, the very funny one I can't forget is me talking to a client, and we got into a particular location. We're trying to look at the opportunities in that location. I was like, and the next thing I heard him say, and so I don't like that location. There's usually traffic there. And I went, oh wow, you know, like for me, I had to ask him, okay, now are we talking about investment or we talking about where you want to live? Of course, if it's where you want to live and you don't like traffic, no one likes traffic, by the way. Even though I live in Lagos, I stay in Lagos, I love Lagos. I don't see myself leaving Lagos anytime soon. I still hate Lagos traffic. Like I run away from it as much as I can. Okay, so no one loves traffic. But now we're talking about investment. And we're talking about the location that can help you multiply your funds within the shortest time possible. And the traffic, because you don't like traffic, is what is the hindering factor for him. And so I had to make him see things and make him see reasons why. See, the traffic should not even be your headache right now. Your numbers is what should concern you. Leave the traffic for those living in the location, okay? Leave the traffic for those. And if there's traffic, it shows you something that massive population are moving to that place. So if you're looking at, for example, if you're looking at rental income, it shows you, okay, so one of the things you look out for, okay, don't let me get into that, but really, when it comes to investing in real estate, your emotions shouldn't even come into play, right? You should be what you should be looking out for. You should be running your numbers, looking out for the numbers. So this is one thing you really need. You need to emotional mastery is very important when if you want to be a successful real estate investor. And this is one mistake most people make. They bring in their own personal beliefs, things they love, things they like, what they want to see in where they would love to live, and they use that when investing. They feel, oh, for me, I love I love very large bedrooms. I love a particular kind of tiles. I love my kitchen to look a certain kind of way, to be certain kind of big. And when buying properties, they look out for those exact same things, not thinking, not running the numbers to see if it will be beneficial to them or not, or even if those properties will be taken up fast in the market or not, or if that's what those living in that particular location, or if that's what the market is asking for at that particular time. So that is one mistake you should avoid. Take out all your emotions, take out everything you would love to see in where you want to live. It has nothing to do with you. When you are buying for investment, it has everything to do with the figures and what the market is asking for at that particular time. So I said on this blog, one of the most important aspects of real estate investment is emotional mastery. So true. Like every other fast evolving multi-billion-dollar venture, the bigger players are not those who know how to play the game of numbers. It is those who have mastered the game of nerves. You see, this real estate, it's about nerves, right? And you never jump into buying or selling because of emotions. You must be able to make decisions based on sound, logical, and technical analysis of the market. You can't take that out. It has to be on logical and technical analysis of the market per time. You are not also a real estate investor simply because you're buying what everyone else is buying and selling what everyone else is selling. The truth is, the real estate investors actually buy when no one else is buying. And that's the truth. Like, look at the trend. Watch the trend, especially here in Lagos. People that really cashed out, the investors that cashed out of Lekki Phase 1 that we now know that is very popular, that is high-end now for many people, for many Nigerians, right? Were those that bought when no one else was buying, when it was still waterlogged and all of that. But they saw the potential, they saw the foresight, right? And the truth of the matter is the same thing right now with Ibeji. Like people that are the real investors of Ibeji were those that bought years ago when no one was even looking at that area, before the whole rush and the hype of the free trade zone, the Dangote refinery, and all whatnot that we have now is currently happening. So the real investors are those that buy things that no one else is even buying, right? But of course, they've ran the numbers, they've seen the potentials, they have foresight, they know, they've looked at the metrics, they've ticked these boxes. So it's not about now me saying buying what no one else is buying is not something that of course, it's not going to move and you go buy it. No, the real investors, right? They don't follow the crowd. They don't jump on what everyone else is. They've done it way ahead. They've seen. They've like it's like a chess game. They've pulled it. They know where to put it. They know where to fix it. So you are not a real estate investor because everyone is shouting, "Hey, this is the moving thing now. This is where to buy now," and you're buying. No, the real investors, they buy ahead. They buy. They see. They buy even before you get there. They've gone there to wait for you. They've gotten everything. They've claimed the land, or they've gotten the major portion of it. Okay, so now it's not about emotions. Like I was driving with a developer some like a month back, and was showing me some properties. Of course, now development is around has gotten up to those areas, and even the state of what the property was is at the time we were driving there, and he telling me the year he bought it years back. I was like in my mind, I was just like, man, you've got nerves. Like, how did you even think about buying? Because seeing what I'm saying now, right? And I can't imagine how it was, the state it was years ago, some over 10 years ago that they bought, and he still bought. And I'm thinking, if it was me at that time, not knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have bought this property. I would have just felt, what's happening here? This is a dead zone. But these guys, they see ahead. They go ahead. Before you even get there, they are there ahead of you. So it's not about emotions. It's not about this place doesn't look like it's happening right now. They position themselves as they take out all the emotions out the feel. Whether they can live there or not is not the question. Okay, it is about running the numbers and taking advantage of opportunities fast and not letting your emotions get into play. Okay, so number 3 is skimping on research. Like this one, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain or how to, wrap my head around the fact that you want to put in money, and real estate is capital intensive. Real estate is not, it's not cheap, right? Real estate is not, it's not like every other thing you buy. It's not like when I go into a store and I want to buy a mouse, and maybe they tell me the mouse is 15,000, and even if something happens to the mouse, I can, I don't lose sleep over it. Real estate is capital intensive. So I wonder how you'll say you want to be a real estate investor, you want to go into real estate investment, and you want research. And all you're going to depend on is what people tell you, what agents tell you, what your friends tell you, what your friends have done, or because your friends have done it, you feel, yes, let me to put 2 and 2 together, it's going to work out this way for me. If you're going to be a successful real estate investor, you can't take out the fact that you need to research. Don't just take things at face value. Don't just believe what you're told. Don't believe just what an agent, a realtor, a consultant tells you. It's easy for you to, have the money or put out the money so you can accommodate it in your budget. It's easy. But the hard part is you making sure that the vital boxes are ticked. Okay? So you don't want to make that mistake of you not taking your time to research, not taking your time to understand the market yourself. Yes. Maybe that's where the work is. But if you're particular about multiplying your money and doing it well, so that way it's not just when things go wrong, you would even see where you yourself made the mistake. Okay, it's not just based on but I was told this and in the end of this way. You know what to expect even when you start researching. So you don't want to make that mistake of not researching yourself. What is the market saying? What's the pricing out there? How much is property going for in this location? Okay, so you don't want to make that mistake. The major work today, aside the fact of you putting funds together and putting money in real estate, is you need to research. So don't take things at face value. Don't just accept what you're being told, okay? And I wrote it here that there are too many big real estate agents, advisors, realtors out there who just want to sell you anything so they can get their commission and move on to the next client. And that's the truth. And it's sad because in this part of the world, in Lagos, the real estate market, I hate to say this, but that's the fact. The real estate market is not structured. Anybody can wake up any day and say, I'm a real estate agent. Anybody can wake up any day and say, I'm a real estate consultant. I say this all the time, and I don't know why I keep using Kamoro as a name, but Kamoro, the carpenter, can wake up one morning and decide that I'm no longer interested in cutting wood anymore. It's not paying me. I've heard, or I think there's a lot of money to be made in the real estate space. I'll just put up agents here now, or real estate consultants. See, most of these guys don't even know what they're doing. So if you just pick up someone or you were referred to someone and you just listen to all they have to say, most of the time you'll be making a whole lot of mistakes, right? So it's important you do your own research You find out things you're being told. You understand a bit about, not even a bit, you understand as much as you can about the market you want to put your money in, okay? Because most of the time, these guys will tell you anything they need to tell you because they just all they're after, all they're about is making their commission and moving on to the next client, okay? So always do your own research. Number 4, not involving experts and consultants. Now, this one is part of what I don't get. So you can't go into real estate investment and you feel you can do it all on your own, right? No. The rule of thumb in any profession is never to work alone. Don't work or work alone, okay? And it's true for the real estate industry too. In fact, the real estate industry, because you need different professionals at different stages, okay? So even in the real estate industry, you don't just need an agent. You don't just need maybe a consultant or an advisor. You need other professionals such as, and one thing, like I put it at the end of this book, that at the least, whatever level you're starting from, even if you think, oh, I'm not putting in so much money yet, I've been to investment yet, I'm just, starting out maybe on a light scale or something. At the least, you must have a real estate consultant and a real estate lawyer. Very important. I wonder how anyone would want to invest in real estate and you think you don't need a real estate lawyer. How? See, these guys are the ones that would help you check a lot of things that can go wrong with your investment, especially when it comes to terms. You are going to terms and all of that, okay? You don't want to make that mistake. You don't want to make that mistake of going into a real estate transaction and not having a lawyer by your side, okay, aside the consultant. And that's one of the things a good consultant or a good advisor should tell you, okay? You need to have a real estate lawyer at the least. So at the least, you need to have those two. Your and the consultant can double as the agent or the broker for you, but the lawyer to check the terms and help you see things. And a good consultant should be able to recommend a good lawyer to you if you don't have one as well, okay? So that's one thing. And as you go by, depending on what you're investing in or the level of depending on the level of real estate investment or the aspect you're going into, whether you're looking at flipping. Of course, if you're looking at flipping, you will require a whole lot of more of professionals and even artisans, okay? So down to you working with surveyors, to you working with architects, engineers, and all of that. So you cannot work alone and even if it's land banking, when it comes to land banking too, you will still work with a lawyer. They would help you with your deed and all the drafting, sales contract, offer letters, and all of that, okay? And you still need your surveyor, okay? So you can't do it all by yourself. You can't get into a transaction all by yourself and think you will end it all by yourself. You need professionals. So it's important that you understand this and you make sure you get credible people to work with you on that journey. If not, you can get lost. Okay? And one thing a good real estate consultant should do for you is they can recommend credible people to work with for you if you don't have them already, okay? And one thing J22 Homes Investment Limited does, which is a real estate firm, real estate consulting and brokerage firm, does is J22 Homes have all those professionals in one space you can work with, which I am the lead consultant at J22 Homes. So J22 Homes have real estate lawyers, real estate surveyors, certified in-house real estate lawyers, real estate surveyors, architects, and all the professionals you can think of, credible ones that you can work with on this journey, okay? Because there are a whole lot of things you will need as you go by, even from perfecting your title, getting a governor's consent, registering your documents and all of that, okay? So that is it. Don't work alone. Make sure you identify credible people you can work with on your journey. Number 5 is overpaying for a property. Of course, when you overpay for a property, what has that done to it? Has it turned into your bottom, into your profits, obviously? So that way, you can't even say you would make maximum returns because the sellers, or should I say the agents, they've eaten into your profits. Okay, so one thing, and this falls back to still rolls back to number 3 that I discussed about you not doing enough research. Because when you've done enough research, you'll find out the going rate of properties in the particular location and all of that, okay? You won't get to overpay for a property. And these days, like I say, you have baked agents and they will do anything just to get you to buy. And don't forget that agents it's only an agent who has your interest at heart that will tell you the truth about things in the market. And don't forget that most of these agents too are paid based on commission. So the higher you buy, the better for them. Okay, but when you've done your research, you will know in this particular location, land is going for this particular rate, and you can negotiate properly. So you know when a property is overpriced, you know how to negotiate. It still boils down to you doing your research and being patient as well, not just jumping into deals thinking, oh, I think this looks good, because not all that glitters is gold. I think I put that there. Okay, quality research, patience, prudence, and your insurance against bad investment or overpaying for a property. I hope you get that. That is a very big mistake most people make. And they don't know. Most of the time, they don't even know they were overpaid for a property. I've seen cases whereby I see deed of assignments, or I'm told someone bought this property for so amount of million, and I'm thinking this is overpriced because of this, but they don't know. It's just they just been told whatever. Especially when they're in diaspora or even when they are here. When you don't understand the market, you won't know the going rate of properties in that particular space. Okay. And number 6 is having unrealistic expectations, right? And this is one very important thing I need to state out, because some people still think, don't let me say most people think, some people still think that real estate is a get quick rich scheme venture, right? Real estate is not get rich quick. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Yes, real estate can make you very wealthy. Real estate can bring you a whole lot of wealth, can help you multiply your funds, but it requires patience, and you can't expect to have unrealistic expectations when you're investing in real estate. Like you thinking, oh, I want to buy a land now, and in the next 6 months, I want to have doubled my money. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, like I said, of course, when you go into real estate, have your plan. There are different ways to plan. So you know that, okay, if I'm looking at cashing out in the next 6 months, you know the type of real estate to involve in. Then you're not looking at buying largest parts of land and doing land banking, or going to buy where properties are still very affordable and you choose to because properties like that, especially when it comes to land banking, you would wait years to really get very, very good returns on your investment. So depending on what you want to do, when you have a strategic plan, that way, and of course, when you have a strategic plan, you don't, I think it helps you reduce your unrealistic expectations for time. Okay, real estate is not a get quick rich scheme, and landed property especially needs enough time and infrastructural development to appreciate well in value. Okay, and making good returns on real estate investments requires patience. Patience is like the word to hold on to here. Real estate requires patience, and like every business, real estate investing requires skill, attention to details, consultation, research, and proven strategy. Proven strategy, very important. You need to have a strategy of how you're going to make this money. It's not just enough for you to, put in money in real estate and think that's just it. Let me just buy and fold my hands when it's not land. Okay, even when it's land, you buy. You don't even just buy and fold your hands. There are some things you need to do. You need to take possession. You need to perfect your title. You need to perfect your document. So depending on the strategy you're adopting, you know the next steps to take, right? Even though, yes, land require, when you buy land, especially when you're not building immediately, it requires like the list of things to be done compared to when it's a property you are buying for rental income or you're flipping. Yes, but then there are things to be done when you invest in real estate. It's not just enough for you to just put in money and think that's the end of it. I'm just going to wait till when I'm going to cash out from it. There are things to be done. So you need to track your progress, improve the potential of the property, and find ways to market it aggressively and creatively at the peak market periods. As if you are actively investing, right? You know when to put your money in the market, and you know when to pull your money out. That's when you are, yes, actively investing. That's what you do basically, okay? So when it's land, so you need to track the progress, improve its potentials by perfecting your documents, potentials by perfecting your documents, and every other thing you need to get done. So number 7 is buying in the wrong area. And this one, yes, real estate is good, like we say, and real estate is, and when it's for investment, so when it's for investment, there's some areas that are not good for investment, okay? So this is another mistake, and some people feel, no, they say invest in real estate, invest in real estate. Real estate is good. Buy land, buy land, buy land. Yes, buy land is good. But when you're looking at investment, I'm wondering why some people would rather go to their village to buy properties and you're thinking investment. Now you're not thinking about, you're not trying to, rub off your ego or try to show off. Of course, if you're trying to show off and you buy in your village, maybe so that when you go for Christmas, they can point to your own house or to your own land and say this person knows that property, then good stuff, good. If that's the goal, if that's the intention. But when you are looking at investing, you want to make returns on your investment. Not every area is good to buy. Okay, there are some areas that are not so profitable. So there are some areas that are more profitable than some other locations, and I think I'll do another video on that about profitable areas, especially in Lagos. And okay, so I have it here that though the property business is booming in Lagos right now and will continue to expand into the multi-trillion-dollar business within the next decade, it is not every part of Lagos that is profitable, and that's the truth. And again, there are different locations in Lagos that are profitable for different type of real estate investments. And I'll give you an example. So for now, if you're looking at land banking, it wouldn't make sense for you to go and put in millions of naira to land bank in an area such as maybe Lekki Phase 1 or even Ikate or maybe Jakonde or even Lekki or the close areas, the major areas of Lekki. It doesn't make sense, right? For you to put millions and say you are land banking, that doesn't make sense because those areas have gotten to the peak of their appreciation when it comes to land banking. But it would make sense if you say you're putting in millions of naira to invest in a place like Ekpe, because Ekpe is still upcoming, is still developing. Okay, but when you're thinking, okay, rental income, you're thinking flipping, you're thinking rental income, and you're looking at places like Phase 1, great stuff, because people are living there. You're looking at Kate, you're looking at Jakonde, you're looking at Abraham, Adesoya. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, that it's not just about the location. Now, the location also determines the kind of strategy you adopt for you to get good returns on your investment. So you can't want to land bank, and you're thinking Ikate, you're thinking Lekki Phase 1. No, because those that actually cashed out on land banking in those locations were those that bought decades ago. Okay, if you want to get returns on investment in those areas, to be looking at rental income and every other thing, maybe developing a property and selling out. Okay, maybe off-plan sales or even outright sales when you're done building. Great, I hope you get that. Okay, and also for some location, land banking is not every location that land banking is great too, even if it's not the main outskirts of the city. So that's what I mean here, that there are some areas that are wrong to buy for investment. When you're thinking investment, you're thinking multiplying your funds within a very good time. You're thinking how to run your numbers and it will favor you. Not every location is right. So that's another reason why you need a real estate consultant like myself in your life to advise you accordingly on where to buy and know where to buy. So okay, so before I move on, I said, so when investing, it is wise to look out for that location that has a good appreciation rate based on metrics and one that will bring about good returns on investment. That is the key. The one that will bring about good returns on investment and good appreciation rate based on some certain metrics you've considered. Number 8 is not treating your investment as a business. I don't know why people do this. If you are going into investment megally and you're not a first-time investor, you're not just starting out, you need to treat it as a business. Some just, they treat real estate as a hobby. Whenever I just have funds, let me dump it in here. Whenever I have funds, let me dump it in here. That's why you're not making good returns on your investment. Always do your best to keep your properties in peak conditions, but never to the detriment of your overhead. And I'll explain that in number 9. Okay, real estate is not a hobby, it is a business, and the profit is what keeps you in the game. Do your best renovations that the deal can accommodate. Okay, that is, you always have to treat your investments as a business. Check, and I wonder, okay, so some people, they'll say they're real estate investors. Okay, what's your portfolio looking at like, and they don't even know they can't tell, they don't have a record of all the properties they have. They don't have a record, and you ask them questions and they say, oh, let me call lawyer. I think it's with the deed of assignment to this particular house. Let me call this particular lawyer. Let me call this particular agent. And they don't even have the record. And I'm wondering, so what are you doing? Are you just getting money and you feel I'm just getting money and let me just dump it off somewhere? Okay, treat it as a business. Have your records all in one place. Okay, don't think it's just an hobby. It's just when I have funds, let me trade. And at the end of the day, you might find out you're losing a lot of money rather than making money. Okay, so number 9 is not saving for future repairs and maintenance. And this is funny. This is for those who are actually investing in rental properties. Okay, so it's not just enough for you to get rent over your property and all you do is just spend it, or you put it to other use, or you just start investing in other properties. Okay, always save for future repairs and maintenance, because this is what will help you get good rental income. If your house starts looking shabby, you won't command the rental income as much as you should. But once you always save, okay, for future repairs and maintenance, and the culture here for maintenance of properties is not it's not as good as what we have in the developed countries. Here, most landlords just feel, once I rent out my house, maybe like it's none of my business. They have this nonchalant attitude. But at the end, it's to your detriment, because once your house is used anyhow, when these people leave, it still falls back to you. They also say that it's really, if your house is not in peak condition or in a good condition, the rental income you will command from that house won't be good enough. Okay, because of course it's what they see they would want to rent, and they would offer you based on what they can see. Okay, so you should always save for future repairs and maintenance on your property. This is one mistake most investors make. They just leave the house the way it is. And yeah, even, well, although most people don't know, but there are some certain responsibilities of maintenance that are for the landlord, not even for the tenant. So when you have things such as roofs that are leaking, that is for a landlord to repair. I wonder why the roof of the house would be leaking and the landlord is nonchalant about it. And most of the time they are nonchalant because they don't even have funds. They've not saved aside money for maintenance and repairs. So when things like that occur, you find out that there's actually no money, but these guys are getting rent. So why are you not saving? Why are you not saving a particular percent of your rent? And the best way to even do this is, if you can afford it, which I think you should afford, you should get a property, a maintenance company. Okay, get a facility manager, get a company to manage your facility, so they'll be in charge of the repairs and maintenance and all of that. And none of that is your headache. All you do is you pay them a certain percentage of the rent, and they take all of that headache off you. They make sure that your apartments are in peak and good condition, so you can get the best rental income you can get you can on that property. But once you don't save for future repairs and maintenance, your property is going to look all shabby, all messed up, and it won't command what it should in the market when you're putting it out for rent. Okay, and number 10 is putting your eggs in one basket. Okay, yeah, I wrote, in real estate, even when with the best properties, sometimes your money gets tied down as a result of fluctuating market forces. Never tie huge money down with one property. That's one mistake you should never make. Once you have, I'm wondering why you have 50 million, for example, to invest in real estate, and the next thing you're thinking about is to invest. Don't get me wrong, to invest now, not for personal living or for your personal purchase, to invest. And all you're thinking is you want to go and buy a house with a pool in Lekki Phase 1. Why? Maybe because maybe the undertone, you don't really want to invest. Like I said, maybe you just want to show off. But you have 250 million, and all you want to do is just splash that 250 million on just one property. No. Okay, so make sure you spread it across board. You can think about putting it in different type of real estate investment, land banking, plus rental income. With 250 million, you can buy houses, not even just one. You can buy houses and still buy expanse of land here in Lagos. Yes. If you want to know how, get on my strategy session call with me. Okay, and even with way lesser than that, you can still buy houses, buy lands, go invest in places where the lands are still very affordable with good titles and have really, really, really good metrics for good appreciation over the years. Okay, so there's no point using never tie huge money down with just one property. There's no point using a huge amount of money to get just one property in your portfolio, especially when you're just starting out and not an experienced investor. It doesn't make any sense. If you are experienced, maybe you have your reasons for putting a huge amount of money in 1 year. But when you're just starting out, spread it across board. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's another mistake I've seen real estate investors make. Okay, the number 11, buying from the wrong people. This one, maybe you've been expecting this one way before, but buying from the wrong people. And the truth is, this is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It happens all over the world. Okay, the real estate industry attracts a lot of fraudsters who try to swindle you by presenting counterfeit property documents, or someone trying to sell to you when they do not have the capacity to sell. Yes, a lot of people try to sell when they don't have capacity to sell. No matter who refer them, what to do here is do your background checks to make sure you are buying from the rightful owner or their legal representative. Watch out for fraud alerts, triggers when dealing with prospective clients. If the deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Check and double check before making buying decisions. Always, always, always do your due diligence. Always do your due diligence. If you need help with due diligence, that's what J22 Investment does as well. Just find a way to send me a message or send a message through any app. The link in the description of this video that will be put up. Always do your due diligence. I help with due diligence as well. Doing local intel. If you don't know the meaning of local intel, check on this channel. I've explained the meaning. I explain real estate terms as well, so I've explained the meaning of local intel there. Always do your due diligence. So one mistake you should never make is do the due diligence before you buy a property. Even though it's a friend that is recommending it or you're buying from a family member, always research, always ask questions, always work with professionals that can help you if you don't know how to go about these things. And trust me, if you're able to avoid these mistakes, you are good to go, okay? Of course, there are other mistakes, but yeah, these ones are the very, very common ones. So when you work with professionals, you'll be guided through what to do and what not to do. So like I said, this is a blog post on my page, and yes, so okay. Yeah, okay, so another thing I need to mention is that I have a free guide that I give out. My free book titled 5 Things to Look Out For Before Investing in Real Estate in Lagos. Okay, so if you're interested in investing in real estate in Lagos, that book is a must read. So you can get it here on my website. This is where you fill in to get it. And my website is abiolafadahunsi.com, as it's on the screen. So I have other topics here. So that is it today. And I hope you understand this and it is clear. If you have any question, please make sure you ask me. Use the comment box. Ask me your questions. I'll respond to them. If there's anything you want me to, any topic you want me to discuss, let me know. And don't forget that I mentioned that I actually give out 5 free strategy sessions every month to real estate investors. So if you're interested in that, it's free, no obligation required. You're not required to work with me at the end of the session. So check the link. I'll put it free strategy session. I'll put it in the check the caption to the video. You find the link there. And don't forget to follow me on my social media. I'm active on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit on Twitter, okay, and here on YouTube channel, okay. And leave a comment if you've learned something that has helped you. Let me know what's your highlight. Leave a comment on this video, like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe, okay. And don't forget that I'm the real estate expert that educates you on real estate do and don'ts, so you don't get your fingers burnt, and the real estate broker that helps you invest in peace of mind, not just a piece of land. So if you need my service, do well to contact me. I'll be glad to help you. So that's it today on 11 mistakes real estate investors make and how to avoid them. I bet you've learned a lot. So drop your comments, drop your love. Let me know what you've learned and I would appreciate them. So that's it. And bye for now. Bye.